Peggy 18.
Hallo Freunde, einen wunderschönen guten Tag. Freunde der Nacht, fast ist es eigentlich tags und wir sind hier beim Until Dawn Media Event und im Exit in Berlin und müssen uns jetzt hier durch einen düsteren Keller durcharbeiten. Und so, mit Taschenlampen. Bei mir übrigens die News-Eule, die ist noch nicht ganz wach, aber...
Nee, noch nicht wirklich. Aber ich glaube, wir werden gleich wach sein.
Ich fürchte. Wo?
Okay.
Dim. Da hinten schon Leute gehört.
Ja.
Ai. Oh. Sorge.
Cool.
Oh, nein, das ist keine Maske.
Na? Ja. Das muss so. Danke.
Soll ich der Flieger jetzt gleich Spinnen ins Gesicht nicht erschrecken?
Cool.
Ja.
Guten Morgen.
Hallo.
Hinten links.
Boah.
Ich bin super begeistert, alle meine Freunde wieder dabei zu haben beim alljährlichen Blackwood Winterausflug.
Und los geht's.
Ja, auf ins Abenteuer.
Wenn ich die Wahl habe, verbringe ich den Abend lieber nicht damit.
Lauf, Jessica!
Öffne die Augen. Ich gebe dir noch 10 Sekunden.
Nein!
Auf ins Abenteuer.
War das?
Hey!
Sony hieß uns beim Until Dawn Media Event echt gut willkommen. Es wurde für Stimmung gesorgt und es wurde auch für stilgerechte Verpflegung gesorgt. Denn Until Dawn ist ein Horrorfilm als Spiel. Ein Horrorfilm, in dem jede Entscheidung, die wir treffen, wichtig ist, in dem jede Entscheidung, die wir treffen, zu einem Abzweig führt. Und wie beim Butterfly-Effekt bringt es uns eigentlich an ein neues Ende. Die Location selbst war echt sehr stilvoll eingerichtet, die Interviewzimmer sahen echt super aus und anspielen konnten wir das Ganze vor Ort natürlich auch. Leider darf ich euch vom Anspielen nicht besonders viel zeigen, aber Trailer sind erlaubt. Von daher hoffe ich, dass ihr mit dem ersten schon viel Spaß hattet und der zweite euch auch begeistern wird. Nach dem Trailer gibt es ein kurzes Interview mit den Entwicklern und dem Autor von Until Dawn.
Hallo.
Hi guys.
Hi.
I'm Chris.
I'm Will.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Until Dawn. I must admit, it looks very nice, and yeah, as you said already, it looks like a horror movie. So I thought it remembers me a little at Scream and Even Dead, the newer version now. What was inspiration? Only horror movies or a special one?
Well, there's loads of horror movies in there. So definitely Evil Dead. I'm a huge Sam Raimi fan. I think Graham is too. So lots of Sam Raimi horror. Not just that. He did a great one called Janitor. Is it called Janitor? What was the one where? Quite a recent one. Anyway, so Sam Raimi does all the Evil Dead. There's bits of Stephen King. I mean, you can see some of The Shining. You know, there's a big hotel in the mountain in the snow. The opening scenes are stolen directly from the opening scenes of The Shining, which were also the closing scenes of the original Blade Runner. And so, but anyway, so there's lots of horror in there. And we purposely did a thing where we didn't want to just throw horror in. It's not just like a big melting pot of horror. It's quite carefully worked out because it's like a 9-hour story, and that's if you race through it. It's like a 9-hour story. To keep a narrative going for 9 hours is challenging if you have a single kind of thread to that story. So we wanted to put more threads in, but not just throw them in. So they're all linked very, very carefully, and we jump from what looks like Shining to Saw to that style. Again, I don't want to give too much away, but we mix this stuff up to form a cohesive single thread. Okay. And then with that, obviously, you can then start branching around from it in your own way.
Okay. I must take a look. As we see, we have 8 different persons. So my question, who's your favorite of them?
I do. You know what? I have to say my favourite is the girl you just saw, Emily. She's most people's least favourite, but she's for me has the best arc in the game. It's difficult. I mean, a lot of it depends on how you play them. So you can have a character that you like because you play them in a way that you would behave. So or if you play them in a way you wouldn't behave, you'll start to dislike them quickly. So
yeah, it's hard for me to pick a favorite because of that. Because I know how all of them can change. And at the beginning, I might say like, at the outset of the game, I like Chris the most, or or Sam.
Okay.
But then there really can be any number of different ways.
Of course, you know more than me. So earlier you said every choice I make is important and have influence on the whole story. So maybe you can tell me how much different endings we have in Until Dawn.
This is a question we get a lot, and it's the real answer is just based on maths is millions. There's millions, but that's not. There are loads of different endings where one is in Hawaii and one is in America, and it's like so there. It's just if you have 8 characters. What it really is about is rather than just the endings, it's more about the stories. There's thousands of different versions of the story that you can go through. So you'll start with the game and it'll go down one way and then you'll go down another way and another way, and that will be literally if you just half and half and half and half.
As you said on the butterfly, which splits up every time.
Exactly. Yeah. So every time it splits up, that's just another version of a story that you're doing that somebody else isn't. So so it's all about your story, and your story will dramatically change if one character dies and somebody else's story, if that character doesn't die, then the chapter, for instance, this chapter we just showed now, it has a very different feel to it if your Matt is dead. Suddenly she's up the tower on her own. It's it's a different, scary experience. It's not like I don't want to give too much away. But it's more about the stories than the specific endings. The number of endings is huge, but it's not. You don't get to the end of the story and then pick an ending. The ending comes because of the way you played through.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So we have many times you can play it, and every time you make other decisions. So we have another version of the whole story.
Yes.
That's quite. Sounds like a lot of work.
It was a lot. I can confirm that.
I see. Other question, yeah, as you said, we have average game time of 9 hours, maybe.
Yeah.
So.
No, well, so, I mean, 9 hours if you just go straight forward without exploring everything and doing everything. Graham was playing it.
I like to explore, yeah. I got maybe halfway through the game in like 7 or 8 hours, so...
Yeah, so you could go to 15, 16 hours. It depends on how you play.
That's why I made the average, so you can maybe go straight through it if you know it already, or you look in every corner.
And we encourage, I mean, the more you look, it's very much a game about exploration. The more you look, the more you'll find the totems, which gives you the advantage, the more you find the clues, which gives you advantage as well. And then there's an entire separate piece of evidence that you can get that really, really helps. And if you have all that, you're going to be in a much different situation than you do. But that means you've got to look everywhere. There's some of them are very hard to find, very hard to find.
Okay. My last question. So, what's your personal fear?
Okay, mine is a slightly weird one. It's just I'm always very frightened if I walk down a country lane at night. I always imagine that there's a little dot right down the bottom of the lane in the dark that then suddenly comes charging towards me, and it's a screaming woman in a big night dress, kind of like Victorian, coming right up there. That for me, I get.
Did that happen to you?
Yeah, kind of. No,
very specific. Wow. Now I'm scared of that. Mine is spiders. They represent the
spiders?
Yeah, I'm definitely afraid of spiders. Cannot handle spiders. Spiders and shower curtains that are only halfway drawn, like from The Shining.
Okay.
I mean, also be represented.
I've got to say, this is just a weird thing about spiders. I went to bed the other night, and I don't mind spiders, but I don't like them. And there was this big, proper kind of like hand-sized spider on the wall. Yeah. And so I called my wife to come and get it. And she can pick them up with her hands, not even with her glass and stuff. But she did. She picked it up, and I went down the stairs to open the front door so she could throw it out. And she came down and she had nothing on her hands. And I said, "What? Did you not get it?" And she said, "Yeah." And it was on her head, in her hair, and she was walking down carrying it, and it had gone up her arm, over her eye, and sat there. And she was calm as anything. That's mental.
That's not okay.
I'm glad we don't have so big spiders.
Well, I mean, it wasn't like this body. It was kind of just, but one of those really chunky, heavy ones. You can hear their footsteps.
That's great. That's really great.
Okay, then, thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Have a good one.
So.
Wollen wir mich eigentlich verarschen?
Oh, voll unscharf.
Ja, gut.
Ja,
das Handy nicht.
So, wir sind jetzt gerade beim Escape-Spiel. Bei mir, Sunny und Alex und die News-Eule. Noch einmal gute Laune. Und noch einmal gute Laune. Wir haben eine gute Stunde gleich, wenn es losgeht.
66 Minuten.
66 Minuten, ja, gute Stunde.
Ich dachte für alle, ich dachte für alle Räume.
Für einen.
Ach so.
Und Escape Room heute. Wir müssen hier rauskommen und ich bin noch gespannt. Und ja.
Ach so, das ist ein Raum.
Das ist ein Raum. Jetzt ist bloß die Frage, welche Kombination. Wahrscheinlich so, wie sie hier sind. Okay. Haben wir irgendwo Kleingeld? Euro, D-Mark Münzen?
Ich weiß nicht, vielleicht da drinnen.
Was ist da drin? Ja, die Kombination.
Jeder macht für Frauen?
Ja, geil. Was?
Okay, achso, nee. Ja, du lädst doch eh hoch, darfst du gar nicht zeigen.
Oh.
Hey, das wollte ich machen, die Ecke.
Ja, aber hier ist die Zahl drin, ne?
Was?
Okay, Licht. Okay, Zahlschloss.
Krass.
Ich bin hier.
Finde die folgenden Buchstaben und kombiniert diese mit den Symbolen. Okay.
Das ist doch ein Reach-Up-Brett.
Schach, Licht bewegen.
Ich will hier Ecke. Lass uns hier rein. Wir haben keine Zeit.
Okay, hier ist ein Stift und eine Hand und ein Finger. Hat er nicht gesagt, wir müssen nichts Schwieriges rechnen?
Ich habe hier einen Menschen. Den kann ich auseinander.
Ja, ich habe eine Hand.
Das hat einen Taschenrechner.
1 plus blutige Hände.
Ich habe einen Schlüssel.
Schön.
Jawohl.
Oh Gott. Bälle Paradies. Was ist das?
Wir haben einen Zahnschloss.
Oh, hier riecht's besser.
Zahlen, wir brauchen Zahlen. Wir brauchen 4 Zahlen.
Scheiße, hier ist irgendwas mit CDE.
Hier ist ein Arm mit einer Spritze drauf gemalt.
Zeit.
Alter.
Ich würde sagen,
Du meine Stelle.
wir haben es geschafft.
Ja. Das ist ja blöd, aber hey.
Wir haben es geschafft in der Zeit, glaube ich, noch. Gerade so.
Ja. Ich glaube 5 Minuten hatten wir noch.
Super, top,
Alter.
geiles Spiel. Dann,
Ja, auf jeden Fall super cool. Sollte nachher in Berlin sein.
ja, definitiv.
Ja, Freunde, das war Until Dawn, der Media Day. Und ja, im Exit mit Gefängnissen und Bunkern und creepy Menschen. Ich hoffe, wir kommen hier nachher noch lebend raus. Der Sascha hat sich zwar schon bewaffnet, aber
Ich glaube, das hilft dir nicht.
ich fürchte,
Wir haben ganz schlechte Karten.
ganz schlechte Sachen. Ich hoffe, ihr hattet Spaß an dem Video und ich hoffe, ihr schaut euch Until Dawn an, denn bisher sieht es echt geil aus und ich glaube, Sascha, wir rennen jetzt lieber, oder?
Ja, tschüss.